My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And we're a trio again tonight. Jesse's real sick, so she can't make it.
I'm thinking Jesse and I are like the pokeroo, right? Like we're never in the same room at the same time.
I've never seen Amanda and Jesse in the same room at the same time. No, so hopefully she'll be back very soon and is feeling better soon. So get better, Jesse.
Mhm.
Bye.
Yes.
But today we have a very exciting deep dive for you today. And if you follow this podcast, you know that we've been a little obsessed with the show that just started this past little while. That's been teasing us with updates and changes and shenanigans for over a year at this point. But we finally got to watch the first 2 episodes of Island last weekend. And it was...
Yay!
Yes. Okay. Very excited. It luckily was not a disappointment for us, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But we're sort of having like a little bit of like an island month here in the Nunas. We're like really pumped about it. So we're gonna do an episode on one of our favorite actresses for quite a while. The one, the only Lee Da Hee, who is her current role is starring in Island, and we wanted to bring our love of her to you, the people who may or may not be super familiar with her, because I know that we have, listeners who just started watching K-dramas, listeners who just come over for like K-pop and are like, oh, the vibes of these gals is fun, I'm gonna listen to their drama stuff. So you may not know who Lee Da Hee is, but you should, because she's awesome and she's very cool, and we want to tell you about her. So that's what we're gonna do today.
Mm-hmm.
Who would like to begin with a little bit of background information?
Well, I will. Jessie has provided me with lots of. She did tidbits and research and found the bio.
When we do this, we split up like different aspects of the episode so that not one person isn't doing all the work. And Jessie did do the work for her biography, but is sick, so she couldn't be here. So she's lovingly
a literally sick situation. She did not just not do her homework and
no
like not show up. She did her homework.
She sent the homework ahead.
I got her homework right here. So, this is actually Lee Da Hee's 20-year anniversary in the business. One of the things I saw said she started in 2002 as like a model, as like doing some stuff like that. So her first acting role is 2003, I believe, but technically we're celebrating her 20-year anniversary in the business, which is a lot.
Wild.
She does not seem old enough to have been working for 20 years, but she is. She's 37. Is that it? 30.
She's a very youthful 37.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's close to 40, and she does not. Okay.
She looks maybe 25. Just keep that in mind if you're unfamiliar.
Maybe 28. I could say she's like 25 to 28.
I can see late 20s, yeah.
She definitely looks more than 10 years younger than me. So, anyway. She is Jessie's birthday twin. She's born on March 15th in 1985. She's a year younger than Jessie. Began her acting career at 17 after being a finalist in SBS's Super Elite Model Contest. She was in the drama 1,000 Years of Love in 2003, but never really saw any popularity until 2013. So she worked for 10 years sort of in bit roles, background stuff. But in 2013, she was in I Can Hear Your Voice, and it was huge, and it made people notice her. One of the other things she's noticed for is her height. She is 5'9". So
I know, massive, huh? Real giant.
So, quick background about the Nunas for a moment. One of us is this height.
Yes. One of us being Sky.
One of us.
Whenever I kept watching clips of Lee Da Hee for this episode, I kept actually assuming that she must have been like 6 foot tall, just based on how they were speaking about her height. Just because it just seemed like everyone was saying she was so super tall. And so then, yeah, I finally did the calculation. I was like, wow, okay, we're the same height. Gotcha. The rest of the Nunas are not near.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
short.
I'm 5'3". I'm a little short.
Me too. Short girls.
And I think Jesse's like 5'3" or 5'4" as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this it has been a problem for Lee Da Hee for her casting in the past, because casting directors typically want the male lead to be at least 10 centimeters taller than the female lead.
Why? Just listen, if women have to wear heels, men can wear lifts. Just putting it out there. You know, if that's so important to you.
We were saying before, they do so many like height difference dramas, and then for the close-up shots, they want them in the same shot, so they've got like the girl standing on a box and the guy doing banner legs, and like you think that having an actress tall enough to be in the same shot with the male lead would make your life easier.
That would be sensible and not giving into patriarchal nonsense about feminine norms. So
Jessie believes that this is probably part of the reason why it took her so long to get noticed.
Definitely is.
Probably, yeah.
For acting.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it worked well for modeling, but she has talked also about how she diets a lot because of her height. Any extra weight makes her, she thinks she gets broad shoulders. She believes herself to have broad shoulders, and if she gains weight, she thinks she looks that much broader.
Here's my thing about this. Every inch you add to be the same size, you have to add more weight. So every time I see these like, oh, you know, the women should be like 120 pounds, I'm like, that only makes sense if you're like 5'1". Like, it only makes sense if you're like 5 feet tall. Like, because it scales upwards.
Well,
like, what are you talking about?
I've even seen her discuss, like, it was an interview with a fashion magazine, I believe, like, because she had a photo shoot. And so she was discussing that everyone believes that she has, because she's so thin, that anything will look good on her. And she thinks that because she says that she has big bones, and so not everything does look correct on her. All this, which everyone does have different
something
bodies
about themselves.
All these things. So I'm totally not negating any of what she said about herself, of course. All I wanted to say was it's okay to have broad shoulders.
Yeah, it's
like, especially as a taller woman.
Yeah.
But again, patriarchal society, beauty standards, and definitely when you're a model, when your background is modeling, I can imagine you definitely have certain parameters that you put on yourself for that.
But listen, just if there's any youths out there listening to us struggling with body image, bodies come in all shapes and sizes. And if it's getting you through the world, that's all that matters. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But also, definitely keep in mind, if you're a taller human being,
you're going to weigh more.
And definitely if you have bigger bones, because speaking to someone that has bigger bones, is like, that is everyone has different body types. Yeah. That is an athletic build is a thing.
Let me be honest. Like my sister, one of my sisters is the same height as me. Okay. But she's incredible. Like, our shapes are wildly different. Like, she's very like small boned and like petite. And I'm very, how do we say this?
Less petite?
Listen, I've always been, when I was 9, I hit 5'3" and I stopped growing vertically and then only grew horizontally. So, like, it's okay. It's fine. You're good. You're good.
So that was our body shape
body
talk
positivity. Body positivity. All right.
But I can imagine between her height and having to monitor probably her shape a lot because of her height, that is a difficulty.
Yeah, for sure. So last November, she signed a contract with a new entertainment company called Ghost Studio. It was created by one of her former managers. So I like that because that tells me that if she went she's willing to take that risk for somebody that she's worked with before. She has some loyalty, but also this person has clearly taken good care of her in the past. So that gives you some hope for it being a decent agency. Ghost Studios has a few other people, Juwon and Sue are there as well. They've been producing webtoons and a couple of different series. They seem to be focused more on international markets. So
That's cool.
that's good news for us.
That's also good news for her because being 5'9" as a woman is less unusual when you leave Asia. So just putting that out there. People love a nice statuesque woman.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, and she's done some really neat things. We were talking about the height thing. She sort of famously was at an awards show in this gorgeous, big, puffy, flowy dress and looked very sophisticated, very beautiful. And then later, some fan shots from behind the stage or a different angle were shown. And like when you saw her coming up the steps to do her award or accept her award or whatever, she was wearing slippers, like fuzzy slippers under her dress because she could, because
Like,
she was
why
tall
wouldn't
enough.
you? Why wouldn't you?
If you're gonna be on your feet and doing all this stuff all day, like why risk tripping
like
on
put
your
them
feet?
Crocs on, girl. Like just, like you do you.
Like and we'll get into more of like the filmography and stuff later, but she did do she narrated a docu-series called No Trespassing If Under 60, and it was about elderly single women who live together to like support each other and stuff, and she donated all of her like money from that to the milk delivery service. It's called Milk Delivery Service of Love, which is a campaign that helps to prevent the lonely deaths of elderly women. So
there's a neat quote here.
Yeah. She said, I really want to support the women who used to be someone's daughter, someone's mother, and someone's lover, who are now living together so that they're not alone. I hope many people receive hope from the documentary and understand that they don't need to be alone when they grow old.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
So
so I just had a couple more tidbits that I had run across. So something that I noticed on one thing I did watch, but then I saw pop up in an interview was I couldn't tell when this exactly happened, but her grandparents suddenly passed at some point, and she wears a necklace. Her grandmother's ring doesn't fit her on her finger, but she always wears it on a necklace now. And they died suddenly in a car accident, and they were actually very healthy, so it was very unexpected for her grandparents to suddenly die. And so she was very, very close with them. Like, they were kind of the biggest supporters. They were the most excited to always be watching all of her TV appearances and stuff. And so she really misses them a lot, to where she has their picture by her bed and she'll like talk to them. And it's kind of inspired her to do her, like, here's a quote: "Through that, I try to do the best I can every day. I realized how valuable it all is. My family, tomorrow, and the things that I love." So that, suddenly losing two of her, family members, that really affected her, to where she tries to even be a more positive person and really tries even harder than she's always been a very motivated person. It's obvious from how she speaks about things, but so that, I think that's been a big thing for her in the past few years, it seems. Also, one fun thing I wanted to mention about her, so aside from her height, is, of course, they didn't say it like this. It seems like she might kind of have a resting bitch face, which don't we all?
Yeah.
So they actually talked about this in an interview at one point, because she was, it's the reporter, the journalist, trying to kind of warm up the conversation. Like, so I guess that Lee Da Hee was like being really hyper engaged and smiley, like from square one, with this journalist, and the journalist was like, wow, your expression is super bright. And essentially Lee Da Hee was like, I have to purposefully like I'm in a good mood, so I need to make sure that you know that. And so I make a point to smile. So it's obvious that, she's been in this game a long time. I don't think she naturally necessarily smiles all the time, which is totally fine. Like, she should be allowed to have her resting bitch face. It's totally fine. But so she has to make a point to like really smile to engage the other person and let. Well, it's
but
good to be like,
I understand.
Back and forth with a journalist or something, but she's. I'm sure she's trained herself at this point to do that.
I wonder. I'm curious if that also may have had something to do with her not excelling early in her career. If she was unaware of that, because at a younger age, you don't necessarily, you're thinking I'm being expressionful and I'm doing, and if they were sort of like, she looks cranky, like that's not what we're looking for. And then she sort of trained herself to make it bigger, make it more.
So she kind of had all these quotes about like, I'm typically not in a bad mood. I'm typically actually in a good mood. So I kind of have to force smiling a lot in order to convey that I'm in a good mood, despite the fact that my face usually doesn't really do that. And I was like, I can identify with that. I know that my husband's that way too. Like, he definitely has resting bitch face. So like, I'm always like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Oh, okay. That's just the way your face looks. That's totally fine.
Oh, that's just your face. Okay.
Well, like, we, especially as females, we shouldn't always have to smile either. So
see, I same, because when I was growing up, my mom would always be like, "Are you upset? Are you upset?" And I'm just sitting there like, "No," and she'd be like, "No, I can tell by your face you're upset." And it would go on for so long, and I'd be like, "Well, I wasn't,
but I am now.
But now I'm getting a little bit like I was just sitting here minding my own business." But okay, I understand. Da Hee, I understand. Be friends with us.
Yeah.
Be friends with us, Uni, please.
Those were kind of the little extra tidbits that I had run across.
She seems to be very competitive. Like when you see her on things like Running Man, or like that clip that you shared on Twitter tonight of like they were doing some game for Island and stuff. Like, she definitely has a competitive side. You can see that for sure.
It never talks about her being an athlete, which it's possible that she just wasn't. But as far as her competitive nature, like, it would make you wonder if that was a part, because it seems like she's pretty good. If you're wondering where we're getting this, just watch her anytime in Running Man. Literally, yes.
Okay, now I have compiled in chronological order her filmography, and if I'm gonna be honest, if it was just at a guest role, I didn't do a synopsis of it, okay? Because just a guest role, like whatever. Yeah. We want the good stuff, okay? So in 2004, she was in a show called Into the Storm in a secondary role, and it's a tale of two brothers turning on each other after falling for the same woman. However, the woman is not Lee Da Hee, so no taste. Moving on. I'm kidding.
Whoever the lead,
very beautiful as well. I'm just kidding.
Don't
kidding.
Don't come after us.
Don't come for me. I'm kidding. In 2005, she was in the show Sad Love Story, just as a guest role. Whatever. In 2007, she had a secondary role in the drama Air City, which is about a woman dealing with family trauma who returns to Korea to be the chief operations of the Incheon airport, and Lee Da Hee played her younger sister in it. So that's fun. In 2007, ooh, big one, okay? 2007, she was a support role in the fantasy historical The Legend, which is about a king who was sent by the heavens to save the kingdom. And the cast of this, like, if you look at the cast of this drama, it's a wild cast. Like, I don't know how they got the production budget for this cast.
But 2007, as far as like, that's probably still hard to unknown.
Yeah.
But I want to say about that role is when she started like doing her like training for action stuff.
She spent a year learning horseback riding and stunt work and did a lot of her own stunts in the show. She plays the character of Gakudan, who's a royal guardian, so it was a very physical role. And she talks about it in this episode of Happy Together, where one of the other actors, like, who was like a seasoned pro, like, he would psych her out, and she would be like doing great, and then notice him just standing in the background watching her act, and she like would mess up and wouldn't be able to do it.
And she's at the time, she had a complex then about like that dude. Like, she was like, she's like, every time I saw him, I would just clam up. So in 2008, she was in her first movie role as a main role in the comedy Mothers and Daughters, which is about a fruit seller who almost runs over a young man and then brings him home, where she and her daughters all try to seduce him. And Lee Da Hee was one of the daughters. So, I actually really wanted to watch this. So I was like, this looks like it would be ridiculous, but I could not find. I could not find it.
No,
anywhere.
I looked
pre 2010 is sometimes tough,
tricky.
Man.
Yeah.
Also in 2008, she was in the drama Cuckoo Island Secret in the main role, which is about a group of employees who become stranded on a deserted island after getting drunk on a cruise, like Gilligan Island style.
I looked for that one too, because I was like,
also could not find it. It looked fun. She played like the ex-girlfriend / co-worker of like the male lead, so it's just like, okay, this would be tense. In 2010, she had another movie called Harmony, which looked real sad. Gonna be honest, looked depressing. Which is about a music professor on death row who forms a prisoner's choir to help a fellow prisoner see the baby she was forced to give up for adoption after giving birth in prison. Wow. Lee Da Hee is one of the prisoners. It looks... I was like, you know what? To be honest, I could have found that one, but I was like, I don't think I'm in the right headspace for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2011, she had a secondary role in the drama Royal Family, which is a chaebol drama about a woman who marries into a wealthy family and is then mistreated by her in-laws, who think she's a gold digger, to the point where they literally steal her son from her, causing her to seek revenge. Love those. Lee Da Hee plays a detective in it, so she plays a cop. Her first cop role.
Her first cop role.
Not the last.
Does she have cop face? She can have cop face.
She can, but like she doesn't. She doesn't have cop face. She has gorgeous lady face. Okay, is what she has.
Very much does. Yes.
She had a guest role in I Need Romance 1, and in 2011, she had a main role as the second female lead in the drama Birdie Buddy, a golf drama that, if you want to know more about, we have a whole episode about it. So you can go find that.
That's my first drama.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I didn't, know who she was when I first saw it, right? But then when I saw her in Search WWW, I went and like, ooh, I like this girl.
Like, wait a second.
And then I'm like, hang on, I do know this girl. So
she looks oddly familiar.
From the start of my drama career, Lee Da Hee has been there for me. So
in 2011, she also had a guest role on the Weekender Go Mrs. Go, which, in 2012, she had a main role in the daily drama Welcome Rain to My Life, where she plays the daughter of a wealthy family whose life becomes upended when her father gets into an accident that was planned by his wife, leading to her discovering that she was adopted and then is kicked out by her stepmother and goes to find her birth family.
Goodness sake.
What a wild... That's very much daily drama, though. Like, that's very much daily drama. In 2013, we get her big break in fame, as it were, with the incredibly popular main role in I Can Hear Your Voice, a supernatural crime drama where a kid who can read people's minds gets caught up in various murder cases, helping the lawyer lady. Lee Da Hee plays the prosecutor from a rich family who has a childhood rivalry, but also connection with the main female character, It's a pretty good drama. Not gonna lie.
So I watched some episodes of that one for this podcast episode, and it is kind of funny when you like see the childhood version of characters, and then like he's the main,
and you're like, oh, I know.
What's funny is when you know these actresses, like as far as age group, whenever it's like, here's the childhood version, and then they go anyway. It's just funny whenever it's like these people in real life are really not that much different in age. But so that was kind of funny. But what I saw of her character as an adult, and her playing that, really, really engaging and stuff. So she had a really cute short haircut too.
Yeah.
But she definitely like it's the serious Lee Da Hee character.
Yeah.
Like, she was very, very smart too. So
in 2013, big year 2013. She was in a main role in the drama Secret, or Secret Love, depending on where you are, where a woman takes the blame for her boyfriend's hit and run and serves prison time for it, leaving prison to face the man whose girlfriend died in the accident she took the fall for. Ooh,
my goodness.
Dang. It has Ji-sung in it, so like,
ooh,
just watch it, you know. Lee Da Hee
and that Happy Together episode that we talked about, like it was featuring, like it was the main cast of that drama.
So Lee Da Hee plays the fiance of the second male lead, who is very insecure due to the fact that he's still in love with his dead girlfriend.
Great.
Classic.
Maybe don't date a dude that's still in love with his dead girlfriend.
Yeah. Like, you can do better, Lee Da Hee.
Yeah. So in 2014, she was a main role in the drama Big Man. I'm about to tell you the synopsis of this drama. It sounds wild. Okay. So a poor man finds out that he's the secret son of a chaebol family, but then realizes that they only found him in order to steal his organs to save a real family member from dying who needs a heart transplant. He then goes and seeks revenge for this. And Lee Da Hee plays the main love interest of the main character.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah. I was like, shit, I don't have time to watch this, but I think I should. Like, geez, this sounds wild. In 2015, we have Mrs. Cop season 1. She was in a main role. It's the story of a female detective squad chief who solves brutal crimes. And Lee Da Hee plays one of the detectives on her squad, smart, who's got both beauty and brains. Woo.
I know that Jessie did watch some, so I was going to read her comment about that. Jessie said it's a bit dated, but it's been an okay watch. She's not done with it, but she does plan to complete it. It's not a thriller, but it does lean into some heavier murders. They're all blurred out.
Yeah, the classic, the blurry blood. Yeah.
And Jessie does like Lee Da Hee's character. She's a new cop and looks up to the main lead as the mentor.
I started this one too, but it definitely does not, Amanda. I mean, honestly, I went to find it on my drama list to put it in my watching, and I had already put it in my don't ever watch this. Somebody had warned me it was not for me. And it is, the crimes are heavy. The crimes are sex crimes. Like, they're murder rapes. Like, this is what she deals with. But, you know, I watched all of the first episode, and it does seem pretty good. Like, it's not bad for, but it's, you know, cop corruption and sex crimes, and that's really not my wheelhouse. And Lee Da Hee does not show up in the first episode, so like I was like, okay, I'm good. Like,
I see.
So
all right. There's a little bit of a couple year break from dramas. And in 2018, she came back in the season 2 of Queen of Mystery in a secondary role. The show is about a housewife turned investigator and detective who collaborate to solve crimes and mysteries. And Lee Da Hee plays a baker who may or may not have secrets.
I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes in. She appeared. They play the villain music when she's like baking cakes. So like,
it could be a red herring. It could be a red herring.
This is another one where she does not show up in the first couple episodes. So I had watched the first season. This was my first Kokowa, like the first drama that was only available on Kokowa. So I chased the subs, the 24-hour free subs, and I dropped it after 3 episodes because I missed episode 4. And I was like, okay, well,
I'll never catch
whatever.
up now.
And a lot of people, it has bad ratings on my drama list because a lot of people who loved season 1 did not like season 2. I can say after having several years of break, if you attack it as just a completely separate show, it's pretty good. I understand, and I remember the same disappointment people had because season 1 is very found family Scooby Gang solving crimes, and then season 2, after the second episode, most of the Scooby Gang is gone. So you're like, okay. But they start building a new Scooby Gang, and Lee Da Hee is part of that. Or is she? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. In 2018, she also made a show. Big fan of this one. The Beauty Inside. The plot of the show is that a woman spends a week every month in a different body, falls for a chaebol airline executive who has prognosia, which is you can't see faces, but always knows that it's her. And Lee Da Hee plays the stepsister and business rival of the main lead, and she's chef's kiss. She's so good in this show. I fucking love this show.
I found an interview kind of around that time, or they're at least talking about that role in this interview, and they called that character like the villain of the show.
She's not.
And
there's no real villain of the show.
What Lee Da Hee did say is like, although she was a villain, she wasn't one you could hate. She had her own convictions, and she was very appealing in that way. She wasn't a villain.
There were like I have to say this is a very refreshing show because the show doesn't actually have any villains. Just like in real life, there's not really heroes and villains in real life. It's just people being people.
Like, if you had asked me if she was, no, that character is not. Like, I would never label Absolutely that character a villain at all. But she's super great in that role. I really, really enjoyed her in that role. I want to say that might have been my first exposure to Lee Da Hee. Like, if I had to guess. But Jessie really loves it too. So I'm going to read what Jessie had to say about it. Jessie says, I loved her relationship with Lee Min-ki. The storyline arc between the siblings was great because her character was the siblings with Lee Min-ki's character. And she thinks that she played her role well. She could have taken it over the top, but I think she brought out the layers of her character in a true way. You understood why she was so hard-headed and cold, and it made perfect sense based on how society is with females in power and the role of females in families. Like, and it really did,
and
like, show that. It's not like they just showed this character independent of everything else. It was because it was obvious because of her role within the family and the company and stuff.
Also, fun fact, The Beauty Inside is one of 2 dramas that Sky, Jessie, and I were all watching on Drama Fever when it suddenly died. Because we were all watching that and 100 Days My Prince together, and then Drama Fever just went, we're dead, and we were like, what? So we had to wait a little while to finish it.
Did I? I don't. That might have been my first foray in taking up the.
What? Nothing. Yeah. Don't.
What I do wish to emphasize is I really, really love The Beauty Inside the drama. I like Beauty Inside the movie. They're actually very different in tone. Check it out because it actually does really have a lot to say about like identity and how it's separate kind of from your body essentially because
your soul and your body are 2 separate. Are you your body, yes or no? And the answer is no in terms of this drama.
As far as the movie, just for the record, the movie which Lee Da Hee is not in, the movie is kind of a slight sadder tone to it than the drama. I don't want to make the drama seem like it's just chuckles and giggles because it's not necessarily, but I just want to forewarn that. But I really, really recommend it. Like, yes, Beauty Inside.
In 2019, she had a main role in Search WWW, a very hard show to search for on the internet, but ironically. So the plot of it is that a woman leaves one tech company for their competitor and tries to bring her new company to the top of the web portal game, butting heads with Lee Da Hee's character, who is her coworker / rival / soon to be best friend. And Lee Da Hee is incredible in this.
And we did a podcast episode.
Whole episode
Yeah.
back in the day. So you can go check that out if you haven't already. For more facts, she's so good.
Jesse
Lee Da Hee
says-
with the baseball bat.
Jesse says she's cute with Lee Jae Wook's character, which they are adorable.
that was his first big like people like noticing him role too.
I did go watch lots of clips of them.
Yeah.
And also like okay, when this is a little sort of Lee Jae Wook aside, I thought he was like 29 when I was watching that drama.
Yeah.
And he was like 20. I was like, wait, what? They've got sort of a reverse thing going on where he looks way older than he does and she looks way younger than she is.
But they're so she's so cute and they're so cute and
So in 2021, she made the drama in the main role in Luca the Beginning. This is okay. I'm watching it right now. It's a weird fucking show and I love every minute of it because it's so weird. Like it's such a like I'm watching it and I'm like, how did they get I'm confused as to how they got this made. Like I'm confused.
How did they sell this concept?
Yeah, how did like I understand why all the actors would have been like, yeah, I want to be in this, but I don't understand because this is not like a regular drama for that I've seen a lot of K-dramas. This is not one I would associate with like the general Korean audience being into. So it follows a dude who has a mysterious electricity power and no memory, who's running from like an evil science organization that wants to like steal his DNA again to make more babies of superhumans to take over the world. Lee Da Hee plays a cop who's looking to find out what happened to her parents who disappeared with a mysterious kid with electricity powers when she was a kid, and find out who killed them because she assumes they must be dead. They're dead. Like, you find out very quickly. They're dead. This is the weirdest fucking show. And I mean, also,
I only watched the very, very beginning and I was like, what am I watching? And then I couldn't get back to it, but I definitely am going to.
When it was airing, I watched a few episodes back then.
Okay. My thing I was telling this about Matthew, where, listen, Korean shows have great, like, action choreography. And this is no exception. But the difference between this and a lot of it is that every single fight, that everyone looks like everything that's happening to them hurts so much. Like, everyone spends this whole movie looking like they are in so much pain. And it has some of the most brutal deaths I've ever seen on, like, a Korean show. Like, there's this one guy, I don't want to, like, give it away, but there's one death that, like, was so just visceral that I was just like, ooh, like, and I'm not bothered by gore, even I was like, ooh, like, I don't like that. I love this show. It's so weird.
It seems, I would guess it was an Italian show.
Like, it starts out, and that very opening scene with, like, the person is running, and then they just, like, drop their baby through a portal, and you're like, what am I watching? And then this guy, fully grown, drops out kind of like the other end of the portal, and you're like, what is, like, it looks it's got a very, like, Japanese sort of, like, dystopic future vibe and everything.
Except that it's not set. It's just in the modern world. It's just set in 2021. It
feels like it, and then it's like 1 year later, and 1 year later you've traveled back in time to just regular Korea, and you're like, it's a cop drama. What? And what am I watching?
It's not a cop drama, though. Okay, let me tell you, it spends like 2 episodes as a cop drama, and then it's like, oh no, we're just a full-on super soldier drama. Don't worry about it.
But one refreshing thing about Lee Da Hee's character is that, like, she, like, no makeup, badass. But, like, no makeup. Like, they make her look like a cop. Like, she really looks like the natural look of a cop.
Let me tell you, her character goes through it in this drama. So her character has a rough time.
So Jesse watched it too, so I'm going to read off what Jesse had to say. The drama was hokey and odd and weird from the get-go.
Yes, accurate.
It's got a strange premise, and it just kept being strange, but I wasn't mad at it. I didn't feel like it jumped the shark like most people did, because I never thought it was the best thing ever, so it felt to me like it stayed the same. I did enjoy it enough. I do know from some interviews that the role was really hard for her, and she really wanted it to be something special, and it affected her that it got a lot of bad press.
I don't think I'd call it hokey, because hokey to me is like silly. And this drama takes itself very seriously, so it's not silly, like in any. It's very
but the
violent.
Premise
the premise seems like it should be silly, but it's very dark and like. It's just very dark and very violent, and if that's not what you're into, you know.
Well, and I think it was even really physically brutal for Lee Da Hee and then the main guy, because I watched a little interview that they did. Like, it was a Jenga interview thing that they did.
Rough. And
it had been like months since they had wrapped, and he still had like scars on his hand from like some of the fight scenes and stuff. Like,
listen, I would believe it, because it's some of the most brutal fight choreography I've ever seen. Like, it's not like stylish, it's just like people fighting to survive in violent situations, and it is awful. It is horrific. Anyway, well done though. Well done.
It's just, I wonder, because it seems like sci-fi K-dramas are a tough sell with the general population in the first place. So this particular, it's like, I don't know how you guys got the green light to do this show.
It's a very similar like genre as like the drama Rugal, but like Rugal was funny, had like funny moments. This drama has no funny moments. Like, so well. Anyway, I'm 10 episodes in of 12 episodes, and nothing has been funny. So,
well, like even just a handful of episodes in, because I think I watched about 4 when it was currently airing. It was like the despair that was there. Like, it was a sad show.
Sad. Yeah, it's anyway. I keep like, usually it takes me a lot less time to watch these sorts of dramas, but like it's so heavy that I have to like turn it off after a couple episodes and be like, oh Jesus, like I gotta go watch something else. Like, good God,
gotta take a break.
In 2022, she made the rom-com Love is for Suckers as the main role. She plays a variety show PA whose shows don't really get top ratings, and is then forced to work on her frenemy co-worker's new sexy dating variety show, where she has to cast her male best friend / housemate as one of the contestants at the last minute. I watched it.
Was it a show?
It was a show. Like, listen, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, and she was great.
I thought her character was like, from what I saw a few episodes in, like I liked her character.
And like the guy from AB6, he was great. There was like a really cute plot line involving a chef who starts out the show as a real piece of shit, but he gets better. He learns and grows over time. And a really sweet cartoonist, and you're like, oh, this is nice. But
Siwon's character. What about Siwon's character? Tell us, Natalia. You're the one that watched it.
Like, he's fine. He's the same character he always is in every drama. Like, and then like the show kept like escalating with like it kept pushing the bounds of what you as an audience would think would actually happen on one of these shows, like how ridiculous it would get, where you're just like, no, it would never get to this point. Like, this would never happen. Like, this is, anyway.
But also, I thought what was kind of funny about her character was they really tried to sell like how she kind of felt like a spinster, she felt too
like,
old.
oh,
Really
like men
she
don't like
missed
dating her. Like, oh, she's too married
she
to
didn't
her
feel as
work.
pretty that like it, and I was just like, girl,
And you're just sitting here
no.
like, what? And
You're
she's like,
Lee Da
yeah,
Hee.
like I'm old and like no one wants me. And I'm just sitting here like, girl, I do. Like, like what are you talking about? Anyway, it's fine. Like
I think it's
fine.
interesting because she's also a host on that reality
Singles
dating
Inferno?
show. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like I wonder how many times she was like, oh yeah, I've seen this scene before, or it was like,
No, like
no,
let me
we
tell
would
you,
not do, this is not how this works. Can we?
like this dating show that they're presenting is fucking unhinged. Okay, like it's like it's anyway. And then finally, she's an island. She's the main role in Island, where she's a chaebol forced to exile on Jeju Island by her family, who then finds herself in the middle of a supernatural war between demons and demon hunters. Hot. Love it.
And we will be talking more about that.
At a later date. Come,
but
check back
but
in
she
later.
does have, she already just in the first episode or two, she had a couple of like little action scenes, which like, yes, love it.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes, the cast really seems to get along together, so it's really fun. There's a lot of interviews out there and stuff. If you can check them out.
Yes.
She's also been on several, variety shows and things, but Sky will tell you about those. Yeah. Sky will tell you all about those, won't she?
All about them. So I'm first going to start off with talking about, she was / is a host on a couple of shows. I don't think she is currently. I think it all was. I think all in the past now. So we just talked about Singles Inferno. I cannot personally say much about it because I have not personally watched Singles Inferno.
Zero interest. No, I have zero interest in watching them. I do not enjoy those type of shows.
No, me neither. I was gonna check it out just to like watch some. I tried even just watching clips, but all the clips were like of the couples and stuff. And
I was hoping there was gonna be like clips about the hosts talking. What I can at least tell you is it's not like Survivor where there's just like one host, right? It's the way this specific type of dating show does. There's kind of a panel of hosts that they kind of provide commentary and things as things unfold with the singles that are on this island. So it's not like it's just Lee Da Hee having commentary. It's a lot of other people as well. There's like a few other celebrities that talk with her about it.
Seems to be like a lot of those sorts of Korean variety shows where you've got people you're watching and like the hosts, a panel of hosts are watching and commenting on
elsewhere.
Yeah, like they're just sitting watching it all happen on a screen, like basically watching the episode that you're watching, but without their parts included.
I will say I did watch a clip and it showed like the host panel talking about it. I was so confused though, because it was just these dudes, contestants, like mud wrestling, and it was like I think 2 of them were trying to get this guy out of the mud pit, but like it was obvious that he was trying to fight against them to stay in the mud pit. But then everyone else was just standing in a line, like watching it happen, and it was like really nerve-wracking for some reason. It was a very strange clip. I was like,
you needed some context.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, but it didn't seem like a joyful game. Like, oh, I won. It seemed like very like, oh, this is like serious. I'm like, okay. There's reasons why I don't watch Singles Inferno. Yeah, but some people really dig it. Cool. There have been 2 seasons. So it was in 2021 and 2022. And I think on Netflix.
So it's pretty accessible.
Some people are into watching those dating shows. If that is your jam,
go nuts.
Single people in swimming suits on the beach doing their thing, sweet.
Enjoy.
I've heard from some of those clips that it's very, it's kind of, oh, here's the people that are fun to hate, that type of stuff. So if that's your jam, sweet. Lee Da Hee additionally has hosted Road to Kingdom with one other co-host. And so I've only seen clips of Road to Kingdom because, again, I don't like competition shows.
Yeah,
even
they
with
stress me out.
K-pop film, they stress me out. So, but she the way she presents and is the host, like I did see there was a K-pop kid that impersonated her, and did a pretty good job because she's just the typical like she's a really good host and just kind of brings up the hype type thing, and so this kid was impersonating her. It was pretty funny. And so it all actually started with she hosted Queendom back in 2019. And then in 2020, it was Road to Kingdom. So she hosted on both of those. I do want to say about these, though. One time, I think it was on Road to Kingdom, after like a big, it might have been the finale or something, people caught her, she was in her big ball gown and stuff. Like she was helping the crew clean up all the confetti. So there's a picture of her with this big sweeping broom in her big ball gown, just helping. And so I was like, I think that shows like what type of person she is. I think that's really neat. So those were all the things that she hosted. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but some of these things are incredibly popular. So like Singles Inferno, very, very popular in the sectors that people like that type of thing. And Queendom and Road to Kingdom were a really big deal for her to host. I want to say, as far as on my drama list, she is listed as a quote unquote host for back in 2015 Real Men Female Soldier Special season 2. She's not a host, she's a participant. She was one of the not
lady soldiers.
Participant, a lady soldier. Like she went and did soldier stuff like with FX's Amber and all these people. So like yeah. And I did watch clips of that. And super intense. Looks, you can just tell the whole time like that everyone is stressed out trying to follow all the directions very quickly, but interesting. And Lee Da Hee was definitely the tallest female soldier, celeb female soldier that they had. And I think I did read one article that they had to do kind of a fitness test early on, I think, and it was made notice that she was the least fit for doing push-ups, and FX's Amber she did like 40 some push-ups, so she was the fittest. But I guess the instructors were shocked at how Lee Da Hee wasn't able to do push-ups. She's a model. She does not work on her upper body strength. That is totally fine. So, she's also been in, we already mentioned Happy Together. That was back in 2007 on Happy Together once. It's kind of surprising that she hasn't been on there since then.
Yeah.
I will say, did you watch the whole episode, Natalia?
Of Happy Together? Yeah.
It was kind of sad that she cried.
I know. She was... you could tell how competitive she was, and that her recipe that her fans came up with was not very good. She was sad about it.
She was very sad. It was pretty sad.
It was cute.
Yeah. So in 2010, she was on Running Man a lot, and it is very, very funny. And she usually she's either partner or she butts heads a lot with Kwang Soo, and it's a good time.
Her and Kwang Soo have such funny chemistry.
They do.
Like, it's delightful.
So, Running Man 2010, and then 2015 was the Real Men Female Soldier Special that she did. And then she was on Knowing Brothers the same year, just as a guest. She did a cute little cover dance of, was it a Twice song? I don't quite remember.
So.
Yeah, there was Likey by Twice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Likey.
Yeah. She was
a cute episode.
Listen, she was so happy to be, she's like, I can dance. Ask me to dance.
Yeah.
Ask me to dance.
And then they turned the music on too quick, and she's like, oh no, I need to start from the beginning. She was cute.
Yeah. She was like, no wait, it's too quick. I'm not ready.
She's also showed up on like My Little Old Boy in 2016, and 2017 Law of the Jungle and Cook Islands, 2018 Amazing Saturday, which I watched part of that. Anytime I watch that, I don't have subtitles, and so I have no freaking clue what's going on other than the fact that I know that they're guessing songs, I think. Like, very confusing. She seemed like she was having a good time, which was great. Then she did another Law of the Jungle. And then there's the Queendom and Road to Kingdom host. So then she pretty much hosted after that. From 2019 onward, she was just doing Queendom and then Road to Kingdom and then the Singles Inferno both seasons. So she's been busy with that. She's also done a couple of like award show, like we just said, like award presenting as well. She's done that a couple times. She even did one with Chanwoo. So she's been here and there with that.
Did she do some like? She did something with Siwon. Like, was she on Little Old Boy again or something, like with him or something? I saw some clips and I can't remember what they were from on YouTube, where the two of them are just sitting eating ramen and there's people like commenting. So I'm assuming it's one of those like variety shows where
it's not listed. Sort of thing, it's not listed on my drama list.
But it's, you know.
It's very possible.
There's a lot of kissing scenes and stuff. And
there's a lot of those YouTube type variety shows like that that don't really get listed on my drama list. Definitely Love is for Suckers had a lot of press like that. Like they did a lot of promotion. I definitely saw a lot of clips.
Apparently Siwon's a very hairy guy. And his hair grows back really fast. He's like, I shave every morning. And she's like, well, you need to shave again. Because, like, the kissing scenes, she was, like, getting rug burn on her face. And she was like, please, shave more. And he was like, okay. Like,
try laser, sir.
She did say that. And he's like, I see my hair as a gift from God. And she was like...
It's sentences like that is why people don't like you, my guy. Like, just putting this out there.
So Jessie did have something to say about her Running Man episodes.
They're so
plural.
Funny. They're so funny.
Jessie says, I've loved every time she's been on Running Man. Get her with Kwang Soo, and they act like brother and sister. They do. They bicker so much. The craziness at Jeju special is Jessie's favorite. It stars Gu Hara from Kara, Mina from IOI, Gugudan, and Hotel de Luna, and Solena from Business Proposal. It's a solid episode. I'd recommend this episode to anyone who hasn't even watched Running Man before. And that is technically the first thing that Jessie saw Lee Da Hee in.
That's a good thing to get started on in her. Like, she's just so competitive.
And just her and Kwang Soo are so funny together because they're both so evil to each other.
Yeah.
They'll be partners, but they don't trust each other.
Not at all. Not at all. Like, and she, oh god, she's so funny. Like, anyway,
And I will say the fun thing about Queendom is like Lee Da Hee is a huge Mamamoo fan, so all the Mamamoo interactions that there are really cute. So she's always, anytime she kind of gets asked around that time period, because sometimes she'd be at an award show or kind of something around Queendom, but not really Queendom proper. It will be just some other thing, and she'll be kind of promoting it. They'd always be asking, like, who are you looking for? It'd always be Mamamoo. Like, she's a big Mamamoo fan.
Amanda, question: Has she won any awards?
She has.
Interesting.
She has won awards. So she's been nominated for more awards than she's won, but she has won several awards.
That's normal. That's normal.
This is how that works. In 2013, at the SBS Drama Awards, she was nominated for excellence, the Excellence Award for an Actress in a Miniseries, and she was also nominated and won the New Star Award, both for I Can Hear Your Voice. Also that year at the Korea Drama Awards, she was nominated for the Excellence Award also for I Can Hear Your Voice. That same year, she was also nominated for 3 awards at the KBS Drama Awards for her work in Secret Love. She was nominated for a Netizen Award. She was nominated for Best Couple. And she won Supporting Actress. So, 2014, she, at the KBS Drama Awards, she was nominated for the Excellence Award for Actress in a Miniseries, and she won the Popularity Award for her work in Big Man. In 2015, at the SBS Drama Awards, she won a special award for Actress in a Miniseries for Mrs. Kopp. So,
nice.
To me, that sounds like we didn't give her anything, but we really loved her, and we will make up an award so we can give you something because you're amazing in this. So good for her. She also that year was nominated at the NBC Entertainment Awards for Top Female Excellence in a Variety Series for her work in Real Men Female Edition. 2018, SBS Entertainment, she was nominated for Best Challenge for her work in Running Man. Yes. And the Asia Artist Awards, also in 2018, she won the Asia Brilliant Award for The Beauty Inside.
Nice.
Then we've got 2019, she was nominated for a Baeksang Arts Award for Best Supporting Actress. She won an award from dongA.com's award shows. This is, I think, has to do with dongA Ilba or dongA Media. She won the Sister Take Me Award, which I have no idea what that's for. I don't know what that's about.
Sounds legit, though. I'm okay with her having that award. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then she was also nominated for the Soompi Awards. She was nominated for the Best Supporting Actress for The Beauty Inside. So, yeah, she's done all right. She's been getting nominations and winning awards for almost a decade now. So
Nice.
Well, yeah, a decade.
So she's been doing her thing. You love to see it.
I forgot to mention about her. She has done a couple of OSTs as well for dramas. So she's done 3 so far. She sang an acoustic version of Your Eyes for Luca.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sang You on TV for Search WWW.
Mm-hmm.
And then most recently, she sang I Want Love with Choi Siwon for Love is for Suckers. And so, she always says...
She has a beautiful voice.
She said about... because she's been asked in an interview about this. It's certainly a huge honor, and although I may not be as skilled as a professional singer, it still feels great to make a contribution to a series in a different way as an OST singer. And I will always do my best whenever I have opportunities in the future.
Nice.
So,
nice.
I mean, I think she has a nice voice.
She has a beautiful voice.
I think so.
I think it's neat when non-professional singers get to have an OST song, because sometimes it comes out really cool. One thing I did want to mention as well is, now that we've talked about kind of all of her roles, as far as what she wants to do in the future role-wise, she really wants to try out very, very different roles, she says. One of the roles she's fixated on most is the role of psychopath villain character. She really wants that role. So she says, I want to play someone who is really cold, who has no blood or tears. I had a good time watching Killing Eve, and as an actress, taking on the challenge of playing such a strong character is one of my desires.
Cool.
So that would be...
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Jessie would be very excited for that, I think. So,
I just will continue whenever I see that, just like when Park Min-young has kind of said similar. I'm always like, I always wish that for them. So every year I try to put out that vibe to the universe, like just give them an opportunity at some point to do their thing.
She has had a nice variety though, like in her career so far. Like she has done, she's done the cops, she's done the the sweet, she's done, like, she's had some good variety there, and I like that. So I'd like her to have more if she wants.
Has she had to play like high school ever, like even in a flashback? Like, I really don't.
Not
think
that
she's
I've
really
seen.
had to.
No, because even Birdie Buddy, they were like
grown.
I think 20. Like she wasn't in high school anymore. Like they.
Yeah, and they.
Were, like,
I'm saying they didn't even do like a large flashback where they have to act like they're in high school. Which I think that's kind of unique for an actress that's been acting for a long time. It's nice that she hasn't been. She hasn't had to do
I wonder
that.
if it's because of her height. If they always go, no, we gotta get a child actor in here to play her teenage self.
Because her monstrously tall 5'9". Good Lord, no one will ever believe that tall teenagers exist. No one will ever believe that tall teenagers are a thing. Like, absolutely, come on.
Like, I really like her role, and I hear your voice, and I'm glad that I'm glad that she got noticed more in that role. But as far as, like, I'm probably 4 or 5 episodes in, it's not near as serious a show as you would think it would be, given the content that they cover. Like, it's kind of silly sometimes. I mean, of course, the premise of someone being able to read minds, you think automatically silly, but, you know, sometimes dramas don't do that. But, like, but her character is not the silly side of things. Her character is the more serious aspect. But Lee Da Hee, like,
she's wonderful.
Anytime she pops up, we're like, yeah, like,
we're just like, woo, Lee Da Hee's in this. Say less. Say less.
Like, I mean, even before we really decided to do this episode, like, that's why I checked out Love Is for Suckers. I'm like, I just want to see her some. Like, I'm just gonna go see what she's doing.
You know, just see what she's up to.
No, I mean, she's so great. She's just, I mean, I loved watching, like, the video clips and the stuff from Variety, because you kind of get to see that more. I know they're still actors, they're still putting on a bit of a show, but you get to see that more natural side of her, and just, you don't get to see giggly Lee Da Hee that often in dramas, and in Variety you get to see that side of her, the competitive, the silly, the, like, you know, just the super, like, K-pop fan side of her, where she's like, no, I know this choreo, and like the one Running Man clip I watched, it, like, they had all the female halves of the partners had to, like, jump in and do a dance to a song, and you see her standing in the back and she's listening to the song, and she puts her hair up in this, like, bun in the background, and then grabs everybody's cards and turns them into a fan, and comes out and starts doing the actual choreo from that song, dressed like the singer, and they're all like, okay, well, we give up. You obviously won, because you just even did a costume in, like, 3 seconds. Like, she was in it. Like, I'm in it to win it. I am, and it was great.
It'd be nice to see her on Running Man again. I think that'd be fun.
I agree.
I also just hope she gets, like, because she's done some hosting now, I hope that she kind of gets more of those. If she enjoys it, I hope that she gets more of those opportunities, and not just with, like, dating shows. I mean, if she likes it, it's fine. But I think that I hope that they don't at some time just do ageism on her when she doesn't even look, you know. I hope that when she hits 40, it's not going to be like all of a sudden everybody's mom or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
please no.
Least believable mom to a 20-year-old who's ever existed.
Next year they're gonna cast her as, like, EJ Wook's mom, and you're gonna be like,
you're like, no, wait,
no, I can't.
Wait.
Stop. Please.
No, absolutely not.
I would like to see her in, like, a Saeguk. I think she would rock it.
I agree. She'd be wonderful in that. If that's what she wants to do.
Yeah, we keep saying. She was in that one sort of fantasy one, right? Like, you mentioned
the legend,
that one, the legend one, or whatever. Which, so she's clearly familiar. Obviously, we can, like,
I'm just saying,
some costumes
if she popped up in, like, Arthdal, I would be so stoked. Like, that type of thing.
That would be so exciting.
Oh shit! Yeah, it would be really exciting.
And I mean, you never know with that show, because, like, the first season, like, everybody was in there. Like, they would show up and they would be in, like, a 3-second scene covered in mud somewhere, and you were like, "Hey, that's that guy!" Like,
wait a second.
So we hope we get to see even more of her.
Yeah, because we enjoy her. Because
honestly, given her 20-year entertainment career, she had, of course, she got popular from, like, I Hear Your Voice and all that stuff. But, like, I hope now that she's much more marketable or more popular or whatever, I hope that she gets a lot more offers and stuff, and that she gets to have, you know, a choice among whatever she wants, and maybe she will finally get to land that villain role that she wants so much. Jessie wanted us to let you know that she really adores Lee Da Hee. We were supposed to put that out there.
Yes.
That we adores her.
Yes,
Just in case you've never listened to us talk or heard Jessie mention her before.
That she's a fan.
Yeah.
Just in case you were unaware.
Mhm.
Big fan. So yeah, that was our episode on Lee Da Hee. We think you should check out her stuff because it's super fun, and she has a great filmography and really fun variety, and she's, you know, we're all in love with her. So go check her out. Thank you for listening to this podcast. You can listen to it wherever podcasts can be found, but you can also find us on YouTube where all of our episodes end up, and we also do weekly live streams that are super fun. So you should go and subscribe to our channel and click the little bell so that you get notifications. I'm sure you've listened to something on YouTube before. You know how it works. And if you want links and time codes to everything we talk about, you got to go to certifiednunas.com, where every single episode we've ever done has its own blog post with its own links and time codes and everything. So enjoy. Like there's 4 years of content just hanging out, waiting for you. If you want to support this podcast and become part of the Certified Found family, which is our little family on the web that keeps everything going, you can go to patreon.com/certifiednunas and join that. It's super fun, and we really love all of our supporters and think that they're the best. If you want to chat more about K-dramas, C-dramas, various T-dramas, J-dramas, K-pop, whatever, you can join our Discord. We have a Certified Nunas Discord that's super fun, and we have good people on that you can make friends who like the same stuff you do. Anyway, we hope you have a great week. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, and as always, keep enjoying Asian entertainment. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.